We're looking at just on 200 metres to go. There's the little rise up to the line. Bobridge is waiting, checking if they're coming. And it's being led by the Belgian squad at the moment. Now, Belkov has been left on the front, but I don't think they can wait much longer. No, they can't. Jack Bobridge breaks on the right of our picture now. Vester is after him, so too is Durbridge. And coming up is Heinrich Hausler as well, trying to bring up the race. They're closing desperately close, but is Bobridge going to hang on here? The peloton is going to get the same time as Bobridge gets the victory. Vester, Durbridge, and I think Belkov has just hung on. What a finish. It's a blanket.
Absolutely fantastic win by Jack Bobridge. The local boy, he was so keen this morning. He's got out there, he's given his all day long, every centimetre. He showed he was the fastest in the intermediate sprint. He showed he was the fastest, had the most punch on the KOM. And when he went in that sprint from the back, he lined them up and he knocked them down. He's actually gapped them and probably take another extra 1 second gap and lead this race.
He certainly leads the race because he gets a win bonus of 10 seconds. He took 3 seconds out on the course, so he's helping himself to quite a nice little early lead in the Santos Tour Down Under 5 days out from the finish now. That was a terrific result, Robbie. That breakaway went as soon as this race began today, and they stayed away, just.
They've only just stayed away, but what a perfectly timed ride from these guys. And I would think the peloton will be kicking themselves probably more than a little bit today, Phil. But Jack Bobridge, another fantastic ride by a South Australian, riding for UniSA. They do it every year. They always produce the goods from UniSA.
Yes, they most certainly do. Now, this was the run in here, and watch Bobridge at the back. His head always twitching to check how close. He knew they were coming, but he wasn't going to make that move too soon, which would have certainly have cost him victory. He was gambling here all the way to the line.
He was very, very lucid, and he chose his moment well. And this little kick up, as they didn't carry momentum up, he just ran at them for a couple of pedal strokes, gave him that gap, and look at that, he's got 2-3 bike lengths on Lou Vestra, chased him all the way to the line. But Jack Bobridge is actually pretty quick for a little guy like him. Goes uphill well, but he's got a very good sprint on him. We see the field just trying to claw their way back, but they just see the victory going to Jack Bobridge off the front of them. And you see the excitement in his face. That is a massive win.
It is, and really it's the first win he's had since he won the National Championship of Australia back in 2011. He won the small criterium in Burnie, actually, just before the end of the last year.
You see Luke Durbridge head hanging there. He's done a fantastic ride, but unfortunately him doesn't have the punch and the sprint of the others.
Well, there is Jack Bobridge, and Paul Sherman is left our side. I think, Paul, you're with Jack.
Well, I am with Jack Bobridge. And Jack, on the run-in towards the finish, Robbie McEwen put his neck onto the line and said, the breakaway's going to stay away today. Did you really believe that you could stay away from a charging main field like that?
Oh, to be honest, coming through Williamstown halfway, it was, I think it was down to 30 seconds or 40 seconds. We thought, all the guys had pretty much given up out there. So, but then again, it's always games, breakaway versus bunch, all day games. So we planned it perfect, so we kept our cool when they were playing games with us, and then we played the big game at the end and stayed away.
It's always a little bit of an advantage too to have an Aussie mate in the breakaway, leading group of 4 riders. Theoretically it wasn't going to work, but when you and Durbridge were in that breakaway together, did you feel you had that little bit of extra collaboration?
Yeah, for sure. It's always nice having another Aussie, not just an Aussie, a good mate of mine. So it was, and I think the biggest advantage too is knowing the roads. Coming into here, I don't know how many times I've been up that road, so I think that was a massive advantage also.
But you could see, looking over your shoulder on the running towards the finish, inside of the 5 kilometre, the whole of the main field charging down upon you. You had to stay calm then, using a little bit of your track background, the track knowledge, the poker face to win.
Yeah, for sure. I learned a big lesson last week at the Nationals going early. I definitely wasn't going to make that mistake again, but when you see a bunch charging at you that hard, it's pretty nerve-wracking, and it's pretty eager to get going, but had to keep my cool, and it worked out perfect.
Hometown boy, but let's not forget not only the stage victory, but the leader's jersey.
Yes, I haven't really come close before in a stage win here. I've always been aggressive. But to take out the first stage and wear the leader's jersey tomorrow, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Well done, Jack. Back to you, Phil.